Let's just start it. The governor, the glorious Tate Reeves, issued a mask requirement. I mean, he went full Chokwe Lumumba on us while wearing a denim face mask with a Mississippi logo on it. At least that was the picture I saw online. I don't know if that's what he actually had on, but it looked ridiculous. So, let's jump in. Hines, Rankin, Madison. Let's see. Is Madison involved in it too?
Yes.
Okay, so Hines, DeSoto, Madison, Harrison, Rankin, Jackson, Washington, Sunflower, Grenada, Claiborne, Jefferson, Wayne, and Quitman County are now under mask requirement. And we are back to no more than 10 people gathering indoors and no more than 20 gathering outdoors in these counties. Citizens must all wear masks when shopping and at public gatherings. So, first off, that's the equivalent of shutting back down bars and restaurants for in-house dining, unless you're just a really small place in Jackson, Madison, Rankin counties. We're just going to talk about what immediately affects the Jackson Tri-County area here. There's going to be some places that don't survive. I don't see how they do. I know a couple bar and restaurant owners. It's what I did, and it's sad, you know. Let's just hope that it stops there and they don't get back into salons and tattoo shops and all that stuff. I'm gonna crank my fan up here, y'all. I'm sweating bullets. All right, you work all day, you come home to a hot house. I'm the cold-natured one in the family. So, I can actually read y'all's comments and everything today, so this is good. I see somebody saying, get your toilet paper. Oh, my friend Amy Neron, yes, absolutely, get your toilet paper. If nothing else, if we learned anything from the first wave, it's that with the second wave, or the second freak out, we're definitely going to need paper supplies. And I've been kind of buying a little bit extra here and there, so barring a complete breakdown in the supply chain, we should be okay here at the Edwards household. But back to the restaurants real quick and bars. Man, like I said, I'm never going to put anybody's business out there like that, but I'm really, really worried about a couple places. They try to support your favorite place, buy some gift cards, whatever you can, because they didn't say how long it was going to be this time. You know, we went and ate lunch, and I brought this up the other day. We went and ate lunch Tuesday at the Iron Horse, and you have to wear your face mask till you sit down. Then you can take it off. I mean, really, come on, people. What good does that do? You know, like I know, that no COVID force field comes up around your booth. But, okay, we're going to move on from that a little bit here. Y'all bear with me. This is a learning process for me here, doing these things, trying to read the nightly news to y'all. But WLBT did some great work today, and they released a graphic, and it's on the Save Jackson page. I posted it on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter too, I believe, at Save Jackson, where they're kind of, through today, total positive test, 33,591. Total negative test, 303,700. Positive percentage, 11%. Of course, they do not factor in false positives, in my opinion. They say they do, but how do they know? And they also aren't taking into account recovery. Full recovery. Deaths, total deaths, 1,204. Death rate, 3.6%. Total in ICU, currently, I guess that would be currently.
Where are you?
Or overall, right here. Total in ICU, I guess since it all started, would be 187.
Yeah.
I pull a 187 on an undercover. Okay. Every time I hear 187, I have to go back to Eazy-E or NWA or whatever, Dr. Dre. All right, we're going to break it down real quick. Oh, long-term care facility deaths, nursing homes, retirement homes, whatnot, 580 people. So out of 1,204 people, 580 died in retirement and nursing homes. Man, So that is over half, or not over half, that is almost half of the total deaths.
Right here, it tells you how many in each
Yeah.
age group.
Yeah, that's where I'm heading.
Okay.
So almost 600 out of the 1,200 deaths were in long-term nursing facilities. Here's the breakdown of deaths by age. 18 to 29-year-olds, 7. 30 to 39-year-olds, 18. 40 to 49-year-olds, 55. 50 to 59-year-olds, 113. And here's where the numbers really blow up. 60 to 69-year-olds. That, if you're in your 40s, that's probably your parents' age or right there at it. 259. My dad's 74, so he falls in this category of 70 to 79, 320 deaths. So 60 to 69-year-olds, 259 deaths. 70 to 79-year-olds, 320 deaths. And then 80 to 89-year-olds. This group got hit hard to be such a small group. 268 people. And I would love to see the numbers on how many living 80 to 89-year-olds we have in Mississippi, and what the percentage of them were and what the recovery rate was. So these numbers do lack a little bit of information there. And then 90 plus years old, 164. So think about this. 90-year-old people, 90 or older, 164 died. That is more than, I don't have the calculator right in front of me, but I'm just going to say that is the more of, or almost the same exact amount of people that died between the ages of 18 and 59 combined. Do some math for me.
You should have had told me beforehand.
You have a calculator.
Well, my phone's dead.
Oh, well. So, just think about that. 90 plus years old, 164 people. 18 to 59 years old, almost the same number or a little less. So I think it's clear that the at-risk age group in this thing is absolutely 60 and above, which we knew. But of course, these numbers don't break down pre-existing health conditions, stuff of that nature.
It's all vulnerable people for the most part.
Yep, all vulnerable people. And in Mississippi, the positive percentage numbers and the death rate numbers are going to be a little higher because, frankly, man, we are unhealthy and fat. We're the number one or number two obesity state in all of America. So that's on us, man. I don't consider obesity necessarily an underlying health issue. That is a personal responsibility issue, and I fall in the obese category if you look at the height versus weight scale, but don't take into account anything else. But hey, we all know I need to lose some weight. I'm not fooling anybody here. So you can go look at those numbers. Thank you to WLBT for compiling that information. Save me the effort doing it because I suck at that. The graph is on the Save Jxn Facebook and Instagram. And now the thing that I really wanted to get to here, what makes Save Jxn, and why I do what we do, or why we do what we do. In Jackson, Mississippi, in the heart of this pandemic, in the heart of one of the most violent years on record, under one of the most deadly mayoral terms on record, these MFers want to do fines and jail time for people who get caught outside without a mask. So, I'm pulling it up here. I shared this earlier from mspolicy.org. So, y'all can fact check me here. Whatever y'all want to do here. Alright. Jackson residents could be fined $300 and sent to jail for 6 months. Businesses could be shut down for a day. The fine in Canton is steeper. For individuals, it's $500, and for businesses, it's $1,000. Let's talk about Jackson there. Jackson, Mississippi is letting anybody out of jail that does anything. So you're going to tell me that if you catch me without a mask, let's just go on and say it, man. It's coming to our cars. They can say whatever they want. These little roadblocks or courtesy stops they're doing to give you a mask, they're just working you up to the eventual, sir, please get out of the car. We're taking you down to the COVID holding facility, where we're going to make sure you basically don't leave here without it. And then we're going to send you back out into the wild with your fine, of course. So, if this is a money grab, which is what it feels like, wouldn't it just make more sense to enforce the current laws you have on the books and go out and arrest some people with warrants and fine them and get them on payment plans, or the DUIs or the drugs or whatever else? There's other ways to get that money. Well, I don't know. Be business friendly. Don't run businesses out of Jxn with nonsense like this. You know, give tax breaks to people that want to come here and do something. I'm hot over this one. I'm trying to kind of keep my cool a little bit. So, something else. You know, and this feels like it falls right down political lines, and that's what counties and districts want to open their high schools and below, K through 12, back up. You know, it feels like conservative areas are all for opening. Liberal areas, you know, not a peep. And maybe there's something out there that I haven't heard. I don't get to research everything. But it feels very political. And I see a lot of teachers in these comments, especially under the governor's, his live videos that he's doing every day, his press briefings. I see a lot of educators under there talking about keep it closed, keep your kids at home, I don't want to get sick. What if we quit paying y'all? There would be teachers marching at the governor's mansion, kicking the gate down, insisting to open the schools back up. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be paid. Nobody asked for this, but nobody asked for it in any calling in life. You know, to be deemed non-essential. Hell, school's been deemed non-essential and teachers are still getting paid. Our taxes hadn't gone down while our kids aren't in school. And I'm stealing some of this from Clay Travis at Outkick. But, man, he said it, and I'd been thinking it for a while. And literally, I went 5 minutes ago to listening to him talk about it, to sitting down here and doing this. And I think it's worth mentioning. You know, if we're not going to open schools, well, our property taxes should be lowered. You know, and we should cut the teachers' pay. I mean, I love my teacher friends. My sister was a teacher for a dozen years. Tons of teacher friends. Probably going to make some enemies over these comments. But if everybody else is susceptible to it, why aren't they? Kids need to be back in school, and teachers need to be at school working. You can only do so much with these internets and computers. Internets, like they're a thing. With the internet and computers. So,
Brain or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Zoom. But look, with all that said, I didn't have a whole lot to say tonight. I just wanted to jump on here and kind of discuss. And when you get it on your mind like that, the mask thing, I ordered a couple today that I prefer to wear because I'm going to be respectful to Jxn businesses that didn't ask for this. And as I calm down a little, I'm trying to be more mindful that everybody didn't ask for this. But I'm also reminded that elections have consequences. And in Jxn, y'all, because I didn't vote for these fools, a lot of y'all have backed us into this corner. And we're gonna have to vote our way out of it. We cannot have this happen. I mean, let's say this virus sticks around for like 2 years, 3 years. What if it comes back? What if another one comes? You know, I think that we've seen that we're very susceptible to the wrong people being in charge. You know, you look over to a city like Pearl with a mayor like Jake Wyndham taking charge. They've got their outlet stuff open back up. Rankin County schools, I know Pearl schools are planning to go full speed ahead. Mississippi Private School Association, they're going full speed ahead with opening back up. Madison County, full speed ahead, opening back up. You know, I try not to get too political on a national level on this page, but if you haven't taken the red pill, it's time. While we got these red shirts, red everything.
It'll take 1 or 2 people to get COVID, and will be shut down.
Yeah. And look, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll understand if you don't play high school football or high school sports this fall. These are kids we're talking about, not college kids getting a free education. Definitely not pros getting paid millions. If they don't play high school football, and I'm just using that because it's the big one, I understand it. If a kid gets sick, and God forbid, a big, heavy offensive lineman, defensive lineman that would fall under the obese category was to get COVID and die, we may never have football in Mississippi again, and you lose a precious young life. So I understand if you sit the season out on football. I really do, but you can't sit the season out. You can't sit the school year out, and you can't all be online.
All the mothers are upset because they don't know whether or not they should be buying school supplies, book bags, school clothes. Like, nobody knows what they're doing.
I'm sitting here, my wife is talking at the same time here.
Sorry.
No, she's fine. I like it. I like engagement. I'm going to move the mic over here a little closer. We're going to go for about 5 more minutes. But,
nobody knows what they're supposed to be doing.
What they're supposed to be planning for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I know one of a good friend of the family, Tom Miles, fought to get the high-speed internet broadband stuff and high-speed rural broadband stuff passed, and some other people in the legislature. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know how quick does that go into play. I mean, that's the problem with the whole distance learning thing is you don't know. I mean, there's a lot of poor families in Mississippi. Every school district don't get to send their kids home with iPads or not iPads, Macs,
yeah.
Apple, computers and all that stuff, and they don't have this setup that we have here at the Save Jackson World headquarters. iPads and mics and multiple this and multiple that. See here. I'm going to try to get into these comments just a little bit before we jump out of here. See, somebody said, my child's mental health is just as important as her health. Hey, absolutely. And I don't know if you've commented yet, Heather, exactly what you're talking about, but these kids need to be around other kids. My stepdaughter, Crystal's daughter, she's worked very hard at 4-H and debate club and all these other things that she's not getting to partake in. And there's a lot of kids that their life is circled around these activities. They may not be like my oldest daughter, social butterflies and running around and this, that, and the other, and cheerleading. Every segment's a little different. That's their social circle, is these activities at school, extracurricular activities. Mm-hmm. And the mental health stuff. I mean, these kids need to be back in school, and if you're worried about them bringing something home to you, then maybe you have a health issue, but you don't need to punish your kid for your health issues. Maybe your kid has a health issue, and I get it, and there needs to be exceptions put in place for kids with health issues, or they live with parents who with underlying health issues. Absolutely, let's make arrangements for those people. But these everyday kids with healthy parents, they need to be in school. I mean, who's watching these guys? I would love to be in the daycare business right now. I bet it is a cluster. All the regulations and all that, and all the crazy Karens worried if their kid touched anything. Let's see, I'm going to jump in the comments here for a second. If schools do online learning, wouldn't they have to supply the components, internet tablets? Hey, Rick, I believe so. I mean, I think they should. My daughter did several years like it was jail. She went to Florence for the better part of her middle school and high school, and then finished back up at Hillcrest. And, they supplied them with an Apple book.
Gracie has a Mac.
And Brandon supplies their kids with a MacBook, not an Apple book, a MacBook. I don't know about Jackson and some of your more financially stressed districts, but that's where I believe the state and the federal government needs to step in and help these kids out. They need computers anyway. iPads, computers, whatever. They need that, And what about physical fitness activities? All that stuff, man. We got to get open the schools. You know, these teachers want to work. I'm not hating on my teacher friends. I'm really not. I think some of them are overly concerned about their health versus the kids, and we need to get these schools open, running full speed ahead. You know, think about this. We got about 1 minute left here. Think about this. All the high school football players who are going to be seniors this year, they're maybe on the verge of the difference between an SEC scholarship or having to go to JUCO, which JUCO may not play football at all this year, from what an article I saw on Saturday Down South earlier. Look, I'm going to jump off here. I got to do some stuff around the house. We may come back on a little after 9 tonight, finish this up after I do a little bit more research. Had a busy day at work today and didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. So thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all please hit the like button and share this. It really, really makes a big difference with our algorithm and how many people see these things. Y'all have a blessed one. Enjoy your dinner. Tell your family you love them, and praise Jesus.